So, hello friends. This is Dr. Kushal Gangwani, consultant oral and maxillofacial surgeon from Mumbai, and I'm very happy and privileged to present to you in a very candid conversation with Woman Power, a passionate, dynamic, and a very talented oral and maxillofacial surgeon with us today, Dr. Lakshmi Shetty. So, hello, ma'am. How are you doing today, especially during this lockdown period?
Well, that was a very nice introduction that you gave. Lockdown, the word lockdown, I think, is a word which I associate where I'm getting an opportunity to explore myself. Uh, it's an inward journey that's happening in the last 15 days, and I think another 15 days to go. It has made me kind of give my concentration towards the hobbies that I've just left behind, like painting, enhancing my culinary skills, yoga. So, and apart from that, foremost thing that I've learned in the last 15 days is digital multitasking. The day starts with academic lecture sessions, arranging academic lecture sessions, learning from webinars throughout the world, enhancing your academic, knowledge. At the same time, trying to concentrate at many fronts, sitting at home, apart from the duties that you have to perform as a mother. And so it's been a complete digital multitasking, if I can define it.
Wow. So I'm sure you're making the best use of this lockdown, especially enhancing your learning experience digitally.
Agree to the point that 2020 has made us talk like this, where we are able to interact in a very digital mode.
Yes,
So I
yes,
think this is
definitely.
a
It
new
has.
era to.
So, ma'am, can you just briefly introduce yourself to our audience today?
I'm Dr. Lakshmi Shetty. I'm an oral and maxillofacial surgeon, hailing from a town in Gundapur. I belong to Sunari family, which is in Dakshin, Karnataka, which is part of the coastal Karnataka. I did my schooling from St. Paul's English School, JP Nagar, Bangalore. My BDS as well as MBS in oral and maxillofacial surgery from A.B. Shetty Memorial Institute of Dental Sciences, Bangalore. And I'm presently working as professor at Dr. D.Y. Patil Dental College and Hospital, Dr. D.Y. Patil Vidyapeeth, Pune.
Wow, that was a profound introduction. So, ma'am, I was just curious to know that why did you choose this field of oral and maxillofacial surgery as your professional career?
If I can answer it in one word, the word challenges is what I associate with this branch. It's like oral and maxillofacial surgery. I think all of us would agree with this one point, that this is the only branch which is a specialty in dentistry, which connects between dentistry, medicine, and surgery. And this is the only branch, for people who are not aware, we deal just not with 32 teeth. We deal with the head and neck area of the face, with the aesthetic surgery. We deal with minor oral surgery like surgical removal of impacted teeth, odontogenic tumors, cysts, and oral oncology, cleft and craniofacial surgery. So this particular thing was very challenging, and when my formative years, I saw many of my seniors inspiring us, especially in A.B. Shetty Memorial Institute of Dental Sciences. And I think the way they used to work, the way they used to deliver lectures to us as we were students listening to them, kind of motivated me to take up this subject as my profession.
Okay, so that was quite a challenging answer by you. So, ma'am, you have always been a bright student and a topper throughout your academics, including BDS, MDS, and you've been a university topper and a gold medalist. So, I just wanted to know what is your overall experience so far and what are the challenges you must have faced in your college days?
Challenges, yeah, Kushal, I think all of us face, be it any particular branch that you are put into. It could be technical, non-technical, person who's pursuing their passion, maybe art, culture, theater, anything. But I think when I talk about myself, it's been a long journey where I've come across many obstacles, hurdles, but four things that I would like to emphasize is that what I followed, at least throughout my journey of acquiring certain skills or skill sets, is a decision to dedicate yourself, be it during your learning phase or when you're into a profession, after you learn certain things. Second is to work hard with a dedication too, again, and have a goal to achieve. So I had a goal to do my dentistry. I had a goal to do my master's, and this was supported with what was known as a passion to do this particular subject. Again, you need a support system where I had my family, I had my father, my brother, my in-laws, last but not the least, my husband, who supported my journey and supported me completely, to play my role well, even after, trying to pursue my post-graduation. Post marriage, my husband supported me a lot to do my post graduation, and I think there where the key is, I draw my strength there, because I think he's been a support, and family, I think, is the support for me to pursue whatever I've done.
Okay, so to summarize, a decision, hard work, a goal to achieve, and the achievement is the four sutras for success.
And I think you should also have patience, to achieve something. So if I can summarize it, you should have decision to dedicate yourself. You should have hard work. You should have patience, and then achievement is yours.
Okay, great. So, and I completely agree with your point that a family support is a true pillar of which we draw our inspiration from. So my next question to you, ma'am, is being a mentor, guide, and teacher to so many students since the last 6 years, including my own. So I wanted to ask you, what is your overall experience so far, and what are the challenges you must have faced in teaching or inculcating these values in your students?
If I can go back as to why I took up teaching as part of my, professional career, as well as, getting into an academic surgical unit, is because I personally drew this inspiration from my teachers, from my graduate days, that is from A.B. Shetty Memorial Institute of Dental Sciences, where I had a lot of wonderful teachers who inspired us to be this ideal teacher who could teach, who could motivate students, who could get the best out of them. They were very inspiring, and this probably was the source of strength for me, even while handling any of the undergraduate and postgraduate students. So we always take them as an example where, you try to kind of motivate our students to achieve whatever they want, because each student is different. I think there's a lot of generation difference from last 10 years or 15 years when we did our graduation, or, to the present scenario where we need to learn as the day goes by. It is not something like, a complete Gurukul system where you are not able to interact with your student, or, you are supposed to have a relationship where you are able to learn from the student too, because the child also may have a quality which you may not have, and you may have to learn, like, digitally they may be much better in concentration compared to our generation, where we're not able to concentrate. If I take a PPT and I try to learn from that, I'm not able to. But if I write it down, then I'm able to remember and reciprocate. So it's been a learning, and it's been a beautiful journey. I've met many students. I've tried my best to inspire them, maybe in academics or trying to give them a lecture. There have been many aspects which I've also learned over a period of time. I think it's been a learning process, and it continues.
Amazing. So on this platform, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, ma'am, for being my teacher, my mentor for 3 years, and inspiring me and to take my passion. And it's likely said that when you put a coal under pressure, you make it a diamond out of it. So I may not say that I'm a diamond, but thank you for trusting in me and bringing out the best within me. And yeah, thanks a lot, ma'am. And my next question is, as you know that in the society today, especially in India, females are expected to multitask. And, so being a mother, wife, and a female surgeon, how did you or are you balancing your professional and personal lives? What are the challenges you have faced? And what is your overall experience so far?
Kushal, if I could add on to this question, it's just not Indian, women in oral maxillofacial. I think women all throughout, irrespective of whichever profession they are biologically tuned to multitask. So, they're good at it, And I think right from childhood, you are made to do different aspects, learn certain things, and I think that molds you. Your upbringing completely counts. I thank my mother also for this, because she used to make me do various kind of activities, be it drawing, painting. So it's up, just not academics. So you have to be good at many things. And I think the key to any lady or anyone for that matter, irrespective of their profession, time management holds a lot of key for a woman, at least, because she's able to balance between being a surgeon, being a consultant at her practice, being an academician, and exactly trying to learn from their environment that they're placed at. So I think time management is something which is important for anyone to manage this successfully.
Yeah, definitely. I agree to your point that women are very good in multitasking. I would never think of multitask. It's not in my nature. So, ma'am, my next question is: what is the most difficult problem you have faced as an oral and maxillofacial surgeon in your career?
I think all of us. I mean, being a surgeon or being in the profession which demands a lot of concentration, demands a lot of challenges. You do face complications. There couldn't be anyone who wouldn't have faced complications, but it's how you take the situation. Two things I bear in mind in whichever situation that I've been placed in life, be it with in related to patient or anything, is having balance of mind. Okay, and second would be to have a prompt action wherever required, and being intuitive and having a presence of mind. So these things have helped me to focus on whichever situation that I've placed in, handle it successfully, and come out with flying colors. Yeah.
Okay, so if I'm not wrong, you said having a presence of mind, intuitive nature, and a prompt action can solve or you can say take care of the complications.
And it doesn't stop with that. Every case teaches you something, and it could be anything. It could be a third molar extraction, or it could be a bleeding disorder patient. Anything. It's not that it's something is very minor oral surgical procedure or a major oral surgical procedure which is going to teach you or complicate matters for you. Third molar, horizontally impacted third molar also can teach you, can make you learn. So it doesn't stop. Every patient teaches you something, and I think every situation you're placed in makes you more aware, and I think you grow.
Definitely, I completely agree to that statement. Ma'am, my next question is, being a professor and a guide in an institution, how did you manage to work as a female maxillofacial surgeon in an academic surgical unit amongst the others?
I believed in working for a higher cause. This is something which I believed all throughout my journey of teaching, and being amongst everyone. Everyone has their own credentials that needs to be appreciated. There could be agreement, there could be disagreement in certain things. Whichever situation that you're placed in, I think you should make it very clear that you should have balance of mind. Your mind health has to be good, and make sure to put across your point where it's required. You need to take up a stand to say whichever one particular situation, or you're agreeing or not agreeing, and keep your egos aside. I think that makes your life simple.
Wow, very wonderfully put, ma'am. Keeping our disagreements and ego aside and working for the higher cause.
Because if you are working hard, and it could be anyone, everyone has their own potential to grow, to learn. You should always be encouraging to anyone who wants to learn something and would probably want to perform anything. It could be any particular procedure that they want to learn, inculcate, or imbibe from someone. So I think you should be open for learning and receiving at the same time.
Wonderful. So, ma'am, what is your biggest success story so far?
That's a difficult question. It's been a learning all the time, Kushal. I cannot say that there's one particular model that I, kind of specifically say this is my success story. But I would like to kind of give a message to everyone that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. So everything that you do in life, every situation you're put into makes you a new you. And you invent yourself, like how a butterfly comes out of a caterpillar. In every situation that you are placed, for that minute you might feel that you are, placed in this situation, and why? But it's for the betterment. So the supreme power always makes you understand that you are being placed in a particular situation to learn what is best taught for you for that particular situation.
So rightly said, ma'am. Especially we can relate to it in a current situation where in the lockdown, and we may think, why has God put us in this situation? But like you said, it's an opportunity to grow, to learn, to introvert, to grow internally. So that was wonderful, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next question is, what is that one thing that keeps you grounded all the time, keeps you humble, in spite of achieving so many successes, so many feathers in your hat?
I think to be down to earth, and maintaining your humbleness, because there's a lot to do in life. It doesn't stop with small targeted goals. You're evolving yourself, you're exploring yourself, like how we are speaking today on the digital media. You are in Mumbai, I'm in Pune, and we are able to interact through this digital media in spite of social distancing as a rule that has been mandatory for all of us due to corona. But I think just to be grounded and to having that vision of learning throughout life, and to have an inward journey for self-growth is what I believe.
Oh, amazing. So, ma'am, coming to the end of our conversation, I would like to ask you, what is your suggestion and your advice to all those budding dentists who have just completed their graduation or post-graduation and wants to start their professional career, wants to step out of their comfort zone now into the professional world? What is your take or your message to all of them?
I would like to give a very personal view regarding this, Kushal, if that's okay. Because after doing my dentistry and even my master's in maxillofacial surgery, I understand one thing, that somewhere I'm not able to give that particular time to my hobbies, or probably something which I may be good apart from being in surgery. So I think each one of us, be it you're getting into a stream of dentistry or into maxillofacial surgery, you should give time out for yourself in order to space your mind to be able to concentrate on whichever profession that you take up. If you're taking up dentistry as an undergraduate course, and you have to slog for 4 years, 1 year of internship, third year is a very important year where you're introduced into maxillofacial surgery, and clinical postings start. So your clinical acumen that you need to acquire during this period is very important. All the protocols that is laid down in front of you, it's like a new awareness program that happens from transition from second year to third year. So start learning them, and when you apply them in internship, that's when the doors open for you to be introduced as a dental surgeon. So please try to acquire the maximum skill during your clinical period from third year to internship, so that you're able to know what you want in life. You want to pursue your dentistry, or you want to have a private practice, you want to teach, or you want to go into your masters. Once you're sure that you're going into masters, and be it whichever branch of dentistry that you want to get into, and specifically if you're talking about oral and maxillofacial surgery, you need a lot of dedication. There are multiple number of books which are present, uh, and I think this particular branch demands a lot of dedication, and you need to jot down your notes, get your focus right on your subject, and it's very important for you to understand why you are getting into this branch. 3 years of dedication will get you to your degree, and the future is set for you.
Oh, amazing dedication. Like I heard from you, jotting down the notes and reading the books. I remember one point which you have mentioned to me, that you have written the whole textbooks with your hand in your college days. And I was like completely shocked, because we have so many textbooks with us. Some of them we hardly read. So how did you manage to write the whole textbooks because of your financial constraint?
Yeah, that part of it, I think that yeah, that particular period of my life, which demanded me to write my textbooks. Because yes, I think all of you would agree that for one particular branch, be it in your graduation or post graduation, many books, you can't afford to buy all of them. Anyone couldn't be afford, it's not affording. I mean, you cannot buy all of those books, which they're quite expensive. So what the easiest option for anyone, it would be to jot down the points which are relevant for you to revise later for your sessionals, or for your final exams. So this is what I did, and I actually thank many of my batchmates, my seniors, my roommates, who helped me during my very critical period during my undergraduation. And I sailed through it by sitting in the night, making notes of textbooks, literally one whole textbook. I jotted down to make points, and that made me revise the topic over and over again. And for every lesson, I was able to make a 4-page note, which I was able to revise later. And this, I think, was helpful in my final exams. And I would also, advise most of the MDS or the undergraduate students that you should know the topic. By writing, you're able to increase your speed for any kind of academic answer writing during exam, and at the same time you're acquiring knowledge. So knowledge is power, and by writing I increase my knowledge. That's it.
Wonderful. That was completely awe-inspiring, ma'am. And okay, my last question for you now is, considering the present scenario of a COVID-19 lockdown, and considering the panic which we are facing right now, how will it impact our dental and surgical practice in future? And how do we cope up with the economy going down and the stress associated with it?
Yeah, regarding the economics, I think it is going to affect our branch. We need to stand strong by making our presence felt among the frontline warriors who are there in any emergency situation, be it trauma. I think every maxillofacial surgeon should be available at any emergency hospital care for the patient, irrespective of him being COVID patient or non-COVID patient. So the situation is taken care of. And I think the next era of telecommunication is going to come into place, where we are going to consult, I think, patient to digitally consult them with lack of human contact. But I believe, I hope and pray that the situation goes by, and we are able to have that interaction with the patient, where we are able to diagnose the patient better, and there is no infectious air around us. we have to, I think, sail through this situation. Maybe another month or so, we should be going up for any kind of cases.
Yes.
And at least looking at the present situation, any emergency care that's required, be it any clinical oriented, I mean, where our profession is to be, placed in that particular situation, I think we need to follow the standard guidelines and then only try to attempt any patient without risking.
I completely agree to that, ma'am. So at this point of time, ma'am, let's play a one-word association games. Like I'll speak one word, and you can share one word which comes to your mind immediately when you hear that. So first, family life,
Duty.
beauty, wow, success,
Yet to come, any.
any more to come? Wow, wonderful. Money,
Never stays with you.
COVID-19,
Journey.
religion,
Panic.
lockdown,
Explore.
friends,
Journey.
religion,
Spirituality.
love,
High spirits.
marriage,
Understanding.
and maxillofacial surgery.
Passion.
Wow, passion. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for your time and those words of wisdom, and for your guidance to all the people who are watching this interview. And I would like to end this conversation by repeating the wonderful quote which you have just said, that if you are what you repeatedly do, then success, then excellence is not an act but an habit. What a wonderful quote to end the conversation, ma'am. Thank you once again for your wonderful time and this a spot on interview which you have given. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Kushal, for all the efforts taken and actually having this candid interview done by you. It's been a different exploration for the day and amazing questions, forwarded towards me. And I think I hope I did justice to all of them. And God bless you. Thank you.